Good day. My name is Kunal Mehta and I am currently pursuing my MBA at IIM Trichy. As a part of Indian Economy and Policy course, I am presenting my opinion and analysis on labor market and particularly focusing on gig economy post coronavirus pandemic. I am doing my analysis on April 1, 2020 and hence use the data available in the public domain until that juncture. As we are going through this pandemic, we are looking at uncertain future times ahead of us. Since coronavirus has paralyzed all the economies ranging from highly developed or poor, the recent statement of the Director of Employment at International Labour Organization have said that urgent action is required to prevent many more people becoming unemployed in the upcoming times ahead of us. And that has sparked my interest to explore this topic. Another ILO report which I was referring when I was doing my research for this topic said that, quotes open, COVID-19 is already affecting tens of millions of informal workers, which is substantial and cannot be ignored. In particularly Indian case, the number of workers in the informal economy affected is too substantial. With a share of almost 90% of people working in the informal economy, about 400 million workers are at the risk of falling deeper into poverty during this crisis. India's formal economy was just starting to show some signs of improvement after demonetization, the new sales tax regime, that is GST, and NBFC crisis which had engulfed India in recent times. Then the virus came and prompting an unprecedented 21 days lockdown for almost India's world's biggest economy of 1.3 billion people to prevent its spread. In a bid to cushion this impact on Indian economy, the government has announced cash support for informal sector workers, while RBI has stepped up on, particularly given a statement on March 21 with unprecedented measures that includes lower borrowing cost, liquidity support to banks in order to provide loan repayment for almost 3 months. The whole power of monetary and fiscal policy, which we have learned during our IEP lectures, has been shown, has been used during this pandemic. But still, the economy is poised to shrink in the months ahead. While for developed nations, slower growth means economic hardship or joblessness, in case of countries like India, the after effect of slowdown is said to see millions suffer in poverty, struggling to even feed their families. The coronavirus pandemic is exposing the fragile situation of gig economy workers. That is, the drivers of Uber and Ola platform and food delivery guys on Zomato and Swiggy. Earlier, they used to be classified as freelancers and not a full-time employees. These workers have few protections, like what each of us experienced during our work there. That is something like guaranteed wages or sick pays or healthcare, which are benefits that are critical in crisis situation like this. Even for people working from home, which we are seeing in our time, the earnings have been plummeted and many are exposed due to lack of healthcare. Many companies have started laying off in sectors particularly like retailing, airlines, hotels, restaurants and gyms, where agencies have recommended social isolation to insulate people from the outbreak. But at the end of the day, these workers who are laying off are also to pay the bill. Today, tens of millions of people with non-traditional work arrangement are left out. This all has brought forward two types of workers. That is, one having some form of protection, other who has none. By protection, I mean, which I said earlier, it's like affordable healthcare, which is one of the primary motive of America. Then remote work accommodations, part-time off, and job security. Vulnerable class are the one who have no access to education, have either experienced racial or ethnic group discrimination or minorities, and they can't afford to not work. While many professions enjoy protections that can help them read out of pandemic with their livelihood and families' health intact, workers in low-wage service sector have few options or resources to stay at home to care for themselves, let alone their loved ones. and that burden of to provide care largely falls on women. Looking forward, a more robust safety net would help to mitigate the consequences for workers today as it shores up the economy against the future downturn. Um, Even in American economy, new unemployment claims surged to historical levels and Americans face the medical uncertainty of pandemic. These crises have laid bare the underlying problem of linking healthcare to unemployment. Employment, sorry. Further protections would also support the self-employed, contract workers, and prospective entrepreneurs. Reducing the reliance on big businesses would free workers to find jobs that better fit their skills, creating a more nimble and innovative economy. The current movement provides an opportunity to make lasting changes to the status quo and improve the conditions for all the workers. In today's crisis, we could double down on the triple down approach on the 2008 financial crisis. That is, banks can provide the stimulus, corporations and their investors combine their tax cuts and temporary wage support as a short term band aid for immiserated workers. Also, while we may be sitting in our homes with safety net for time being, the workers who sell our groceries, the delivery guy, the watchman, the drivers also need to be taken care of. In this pandemic, they are risking their health and lives, and they deserve the same level of care as us. Access to both medicine and the comprehensive treatment. So, coronavirus is our chance to extend the protection during the time of crisis and far into the future. So, to conclude, I would like to tell that large scale integrated policy measures are needed, focusing on four pillars. Uh, First being supporting enterprise, second, employment and income, third, stimulating the economy and jobs, and last, protecting workers in the workplace and using social dialogue between government and the workers and employers to find solution which is the current requirement of the time. Thank you. This was the whole analysis of my topic.